The polar vortex is about to do something it hasn't done in 8 years. And when it does, 200 million Americans will feel the impact. Your January plans? They're about to change. Here's why. A perfect storm of weather conditions is aligning. Not one factor, not two, but 5 separate elements coming together at the exact same time. This hasn't happened since 2014. In 30 seconds, I'll reveal the 5 factors. But first, understand this. What's coming in January will define your entire winter. Here are the 5 factors. Write these down. 1. Atmospheric rivers pounding California. 2. Record snowpack in Quebec and Ontario. 3. Even deeper snowpack in Siberia and Russia. 4. Stratospheric warming beginning right now. 5. A ridge building near the Bering Strait. When these 5 align, which they will by mid-January, Arctic air comes south. Way south. Texas south. But here's the question nobody's asking. How long will it last? That answer comes at the 3-minute 30-second mark. And it's not what you expect. Northern California is experiencing biblical rainfall right now, 7 to 12 inches between now and Monday. Some models showing 15 inches in isolated spots. The Weather Prediction Center doesn't use the word slight risk lightly. When they issue a slight risk for flash flooding, significant impacts are expected, not possible, expected. We're watching rivers rise in real time. The Russian River, the Sacramento River, the American River, all approaching flood stage. Some already there. Mudslides are the bigger concern. After years of wildfires, the ground is scarred. Burn scars don't absorb water well. Add 12 inches of rain and hillsides collapse. Genesis chapter 7 verse 11 describes rain. All the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. California knows this feeling right now. But zoom out. Look at the big picture. While California drowns, the eastern United States is experiencing one of the warmest Decembers on record. Not just warm, historically warm. Temperatures 35 to 45 degrees above normal for the last 10 days of December. 45 degrees above average. That's not a warm spell. That's a blowtorch. Christmas Day forecast? Laughable. 70 degrees in Atlanta. 65 inches Nashville. 60 inches St. Louis. These are April temperatures, not December. The freezing line on Christmas morning will be in southern Canada. The 50-degree line extends into Ontario. This is surreal for late December. Meanwhile, eastern Canada is getting destroyed. A monster low pressure, 970 millibars, dumping heavy snow across Quebec. Over an inch per hour snow rates. Wind gusts to 60 miles per hour in some areas. Blizzard warnings. Whiteout conditions, power outages likely. This is a serious event. Quebec City could see 18 to 24 inches of snow by Saturday night. Montreal, similar amounts, on top of the 3 to 4 feet already on the ground. Ontario is next. Another system moving through this weekend. Weaker, 985 millibars, but still packing snow and gusty winds. The snowpack in Quebec and Ontario is remarkable. 3 to 4 feet on the ground, some spots have 5 feet, and more is coming. That snow creates a feedback mechanism. Cold air sits on top of snow. Snow reflects sunlight. Temperatures stay suppressed. It's a vicious cycle. Arctic air is plunging into the upper Midwest this weekend. Wind chills of minus 20 inches, Minneapolis. On Sunday morning, minus 30 inches, Bismarck. Minus 50 inches, Northern Canada. At minus 20 wind chill, exposed skin freezes in 10 minutes. At minus 50, it's 5 minutes. This is life-threatening cold. Lake effect snow is ramping up. Buffalo, you're in the crosshairs. 10 to 15 inches possible through Sunday. Cleveland, 6 to 10 inches. Erie, similar amounts. The lakes are still warm, around 38 to 42 degrees. Arctic air over warm water equals heavy snow. It's a formula that never fails. Now, here's the 3-minute 30-second answer. How long does the January cold last? If the polar vortex disrupts, as models suggest, we're looking at 2 to 3 weeks of sustained cold. Not a quick shot, a prolonged event. Late January into early February could be brutally cold across the central and eastern United States. We're talking coldest air of the season, potentially coldest in several years. Why? The stratosphere is warming rapidly. Current forecasts show a 25 to 30 degrees Celsius warming over the next 2 weeks. For those unfamiliar, the stratosphere sits above the troposphere. It's where the polar vortex lives. The polar vortex is a river of air circling the North Pole. When the stratosphere warms, the polar vortex weakens. Sometimes it splits, sometimes it displaces. Either way, Arctic air escapes. That escaped air has to go somewhere, and it comes south, into Canada first, then into the United States. Historical analogs show surface impacts 10 to 21 days after stratospheric warming events. If warming peaks around January 8th, impacts arrive around January 18th to 20th. But the impacts can last weeks. The January 2014 polar vortex event lasted nearly a month. Bitter cold from mid-January through mid-February. Isaiah chapter 55 verse 10 tells us, "As the rain and the snow come down from heaven, and do not return to it without watering the earth and making it bud and flourish, so that it yields seed for the sower and bread for the eater." God's timing is perfect, even in extended cold. Here's what's remarkable. The snowpack in Siberia and Russia is deeper than normal, significantly deeper. Why does Russian snow matter to Americans? Teleconnections. Atmospheric patterns are global, not local. Deep snow in Asia affects jet stream patterns worldwide. Typically, 4 to 6 weeks after deep Siberian snow, North America sees cold air exports. It's a proven connection. And right now, Siberian snow is extreme. I'm seeing parallels to winter 1995 to 1996. Deep Asian snowpack in November and December, brutal January across North America, multiple Arctic outbreaks, also seeing parallels to winter 1999 to 2000. Big temperature swings, but when cold arrived, it was intense. Ice storms, heavy snow, record cold. This January could blend both patterns, warm first half, cold second half, with the potential for major winter storms during the transition. Let me break down January week by week. This is critical. Week 1, January 1st through 7th, mild east, cold west. The ridge over the central U.S. is weakening but still in control. No major storms. Quiet start to the year. Week 2, January 8th through 14th. The transition begins. Temperature swings. Maybe a clipper or two in the Midwest? The pattern is shifting but not there yet. Week 3, January 15th through 21st. The floodgates open. Arctic air pours south. A massive ridge near Alaska funnels cold into the lower 48. Snowline drops to Texas and Oklahoma. Week 4, January 22nd through 28th. Sustained cold, potentially historic cold. If the polar vortex fully displaces, this could be a top 10 coldest week in decades for some areas. Computer models are aligning. European, American, Canadian, Japanese. All showing a dramatic mid-month pattern change. But here's the twist. Models also show potential for major winter storms during the cold. Not just cold, cold and snow. We're talking potential for nor'easters, Ohio Valley snowstorms, Great Lakes blizzards, maybe even a southern snow event. The snow line could extend from Texas to Maine by late January. Dallas, Memphis, St. Louis, Indianapolis, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, New York, Boston. All in play. This is not guaranteed. Weather is probabilistic, not deterministic. But the probability is increasing daily. Proverbs chapter 27 verse 12 says, "The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and suffer for it." Preparation is wisdom, not fear. What should you do right now? 5 practical steps. Step 1. Winterize your home by January 10th. Check furnace, seal drafts, have backup heat source. When Arctic cold hits, you don't want equipment failure. Step 2. Stock pantry by January 15th. Canned goods, dry goods, water. 3 weeks minimum. Major storms could disrupt supply chains. Step 3. Winterize your vehicle. Antifreeze check, battery test, winter tires if you live in snow country, have emergency kit and trunk. Step 4. Medications. If you take daily medications, refill prescriptions early. Don't wait until late January when travel might be difficult. Step 5. Neighbor care. Know which neighbors are elderly or homebound. Check on them regularly. This is Matthew chapter 25 inches action. Whatever you did for the least of these, you did for me. California, your situation is urgent right now. Northern California facing life-threatening flooding through Monday. If you live near rivers or creeks, have an evacuation plan. If a flash flood warning is issued, go immediately. Don't wait. Mudslides can happen with little warning. If you hear rumbling or see cracks in hillsides, evacuate. Your life is more valuable than your property. The Sierras are finally getting snow. Above 7,000 feet of accumulation expected. Ski resorts are thrilled, but travel will be treacherous. Interstate 80 will require chains. California Highway Patrol will enforce this. If you're not prepared, they'll turn you around. Interstate 5 over the Grapevine could close periodically. Have alternate routes planned. Flying into California? Expect delays. San Francisco, Oakland, Sacramento, San Jose airports, all facing potential weather impacts. Pacific Northwest, you're also getting hammered. Seattle and Portland seeing their wettest December in years. Over 12 inches of rain this month. Flood warnings are continuous. Rivers are high. Ground is saturated. More rain just exacerbates problems. But Psalm 107 verse 29 reminds us, He stilled the storm to a whisper. The waves of the sea were hushed. Even in chaos, God is sovereign. Christmas week travel looks good for most of the country. Mild temperatures, dry conditions. No major storms except the West Coast. If you're driving I-95, I-75, I-10, smooth sailing. Gas prices are down, roads will be busy but passable. If you're flying to the Midwest or East, no weather issues. Airports should run normally. Pack light. Security lines will be long. New Year's Eve forecast is quiet. Mild for most areas. 40 seconds and 50 seconds eastern seaboard. Perfect for outdoor celebrations if that's your plan. But then January arrives. And with it, everything changes. The ridge near the Bering Strait is the key. When high pressure builds there, it blocks the jet stream. The block forces cold air south. Think of it like a traffic jam. Cars backed up for miles. That backup is Arctic air, and it all funnels into North America. January 17th to 20th is when this likely begins. The Arctic arrival, the pattern flip, winter with authority. Snow lovers, this could be your month. Multiple chances for accumulating snow from the plains to the East Coast. Snow haters, bundle up. It's coming, probably. The data strongly suggests it. Ice is also a major concern. Temperature battles create freezing rain, and freezing rain shuts down entire regions. Power outages from ice are worse than from snow. Ice brings down power lines and tree limbs. Restoration takes days, not hours. Major winter storms in late January could cripple travel. Airports shut down. Interstates close. Supply chains disrupt. This isn't fear-mongering. It's pattern recognition. We've seen this before. We know how it plays out. But Philippians chapter 4, verses 6 and 7 calm our anxieties. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. We prepare practically. We trust spiritually. That's the balance. The second half of January could see snow coverage explode across the United States. Models show widespread snow from Texas to Maine. First half of January looks warm and rainy. Snow-free for most, but second half flips dramatically. New York hasn't seen significant snow yet. Neither has Philadelphia. Neither has Washington, D.C. Late January could change that. Boston is also running a snow deficit. That deficit could get erased quickly if late January delivers as forecast. The I-95 corridor is prime real estate for nor'easters. If one develops in late January during peak cold, watch out. Major impacts? Remember, it only takes one storm to make a winter. One big event. That's all. Hurricane season works the same way. You can have a quiet year, then one major hurricane defines the season. Winter is similar. Quiet December, explosive January. That's how it often works. Job chapter 37 verses 5 and 6 say, God's voice thunders in marvelous ways. He does great things beyond our understanding. He says to the snow, fall on the earth, and to the rain shower, be a mighty downpour. God controls weather. We respond to it. Our response reveals our character. Will we help neighbors? Will we prepare wisely? Will we trust God in uncertainty? These are the real questions. January 17th to 20th. Circle those dates, the pattern shift, the Arctic invasion, the winter that arrives late but arrives strong. Between now and then, enjoy Christmas, celebrate with family, don't obsess over weather 4 weeks away. But when mid-January arrives, be ready, prepared, not panicked, informed, not fearful. Check forecasts daily as we get closer. Models will sharpen, timing will improve, specific impacts will clarify. Share this information. Your family needs it. Your friends need it. Your church community needs it. Stay dry in California this week, stay warm in the cold zones this weekend, and stay tuned for daily updates. God is faithful. His mercies are new every morning. Even when weather gets extreme, He remains constant. This January could be one for the record books, and we'll navigate it together, one forecast at a time. Be blessed, be prepared, and remember, in every storm, God is our refuge and strength. The winter you've been waiting for might finally arrive, late but powerful. We'll be here every day, helping you stay ahead of what's coming. God bless you all.